What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports to Hines Show. This video, I am live on YouTube, and I'm continuing my series of doing a 7-round mock draft of every NFL team. And I just got done a few minutes ago doing a 7-round mock draft of the Dallas Cowboys. So this video, I'll be doing a 7-round mock draft of the New York Giants. So, was unable to post lots of mocks because, did not have power for a week due to a really big storm. Been trying to post lots of mocks, the past day or so. Got done with the Broncos yesterday. Cowboys, like I said just a few minutes ago. I'm trying to get, the couple other mocks within the next day or so. So have that to look forward to. So, we'll go ahead and get started here with the New York Giants 7-round mock drafts. In the first round, I have the Giants taking Kyle Pitts. I know, if Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, or Devontae Smith was available, I would have took one of them. But something to keep in mind, just like every single 7-round mock draft I do, these are from Pro Football Network. These are from a simulator. These are not who necessarily I think will drop or fall or be a reach pick. It's from a simulator, so it's from Pro Football Network. And in the first round, I took Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is one of my favorite players in the entire draft. Evan Ingram, I believe he just has 1 year on his contract left, and it's not really worked out with the Giants so far. But I think if you add Kyle Pitts, that's a really, really dangerous weapon. You can help, Daniel Jones get better because, the Giants weren't bad this past season. I think they are sleepers who could possibly be in the playoffs this season, depending how their free agency and their draft goes. But Kyle Pitts, I think, if you get Pitts, you can trade Evan Ingram if you want to. But I really, really love Kyle Pitts. He's honestly, even if Devontae Smith is available, I would still take Pitts. But if Jamar Chase or Waddle was available, I would probably take one of them. I like Pitts more than Devontae Smith. I like Pitts maybe even more than Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle. I really, really like him. But to me, this is a really nice pick by the Giants because he is a tight end, but you can land him at wide receiver at times if you want. He's not a normal tight end. He's a generational tight end, just like, people talk about how they say, Penei Sewell is a generational offensive tackle. The same thing could be said for Kyle Pitts being a generational tight end, which I think it is the case. I really, really like that pick in the first round for the New York Giants. So, the Giants could use some, edge rushers. So in the second round here, I had them taking Jaelan Phillips, the edge rusher from Miami, Florida. I like Jaelan Phillips a lot. This edge class is absolutely loaded. Pretty much every single mock draft I've done, I've had at least one team take an edge rusher because, it's hard for a team not to take an edge rusher because how stacked this edge class is. Kind of similar how, to last season, how the wide receiver class was so loaded. Jaelan Phillips here, I like to pick a lot. I also wouldn't mind Patrick Jones from Pittsburgh. I like Patrick Jones a lot. But, Jaelan Phillips, I think that's a great pick who really, really help your defensive line because that's one of your bigger, position needs that you need on your team, and that would really, really, help their defense. So Jaelan Phillips there in the second round. In the third round, I have them taking a center. On team needs, the Giants need a center, so I have them taking Josh Myers from Ohio State. I know it's in the third round. I'm not to go wide receiver yet, but at the same time, we did take Kyle Pitts, so he can play with wide receiver. And, there's lots of really talented wide receivers in free agency. Curtis Samuel, AJ Green, when he's healthy, he's good. Kenny Galladay, Orban Jones Jr. So maybe they can sign a wide receiver in free agency, but have Josh Myers, center from Ohio State, because they can use a center. So as we go to the fourth round here, the New York Giants, they do not have many picks at all. Something to keep in mind, Pro Football Network, they have added their compensatory picks to their mock drafts. So when I do mock drafts, some of these teams do not have these picks yet. They will, but since the compensatory picks have not been released yet, once they're released, they'll officially have them. But, as you see here, the Giants do have a first, a second, a third, a fourth. They do not have a fifth-round pick. They have 2 6, but they do not have a seventh-round pick. So they have 2 different rounds, but they do not have a pick. But in the fourth round, here I had them taking corner from Michigan, Ambry Thomas. I really like him. He's been going up some draft boards recently. He was graded, the highest rated corner according to PFF in 2019. That includes, Jeffrey Okudah, who was a third overall pick this past season by the Detroit Lions. I think Ambry Thomas was really a good corner here for the Giants that could use a little bit of secondary help. And, facing the Cowboys, for instance, when you got to play, Gallup, Amari Cooper, and CeeDee Lamb, you got to have a good secondary, some good corners. So I like Ambry Thomas there in the 4th round. So like I said, the New York Giants do not have a 5th round pick. They have 2 6th round, and they don't have a 7th round. So we're going to skip the 5th because I don't have one, and we go to the 6th round. I have them taking Jonathan Adams Jr., the wide receiver from Arkansas State. I know I waited to the 6th round to get a wide receiver for the New York Giants, and that's probably not really smart, but I did have them taking Kyle Pitts, and like I said, free agency, there's so many good wide receivers. They can maybe sign one there. But Jonathan Adams Jr. from Arkansas State, I really like him. I think he's a nice sleeper. Also, some people to keep an eye on is Trey Walker and Cade Johnson from South Dakota State. Either one of those guys, maybe around the 5th or 6th, or they don't have a 5th round pick, but if they would trade back, for instance, maybe the 5th round. And also, Jaelan Darden, anybody who has seen, I do, Cincinnati Bengals mock drafts once a week. Anybody who has seen one of those knows that Jaelan Darden is one of my favorite players in this draft. He's another player to watch out for in the mid-round picks, 4th or 5th for wide receivers. But, Jonathan Adams Jr., he played really well. I believe this was against Kansas State this past season. He had a couple touchdowns around 100 yards. He had a really successful season for Arkansas State. So really like this pick here. And so I kind of mentioned, the Giants could use some edge rushers. On the defense side of the ball, they need the defensive line, and on offense, they need wide receivers. So I had Jonathan Adams Jr. here, and with this pick, and my other pick, I had them taking their other pick in the 6th round. I had them taking Tarron Jackson, the edge rusher from Coastal Carolina. I really like this pick here. I mean, there's so many. I know I've already said it, but there's so many young, talented edge rushers in this draft class. I mean, Tarron Jackson, it is kind of weird, though, because I mentioned on my Dallas Cowboys one I just did. You look at PFF, Big Board, and Pro Football Network, there's a major difference. Some of these players are rated much higher. Some of these players are rated much lower. But Tarron Jackson, he's one of the biggest sleepers, especially as an edge rusher, and one of the bigger sleepers in the draft in general, in my opinion. He had a decent amount of sacks this past season. Coastal Carolina, they were really good this year. They played some good competition as well. I mean, BYU, they played some good teams. Louisiana, who was ranked. You watch his film, he's all over the field. So Tarron Jackson, to me, in the 6th round, would be a great pick by the New York Giants. So like I said, they don't have many picks. They do not have a 5th round pick, and they do not have a 7th round pick. I know this is probably maybe the shortest, mock draft video I've done yet, because, other teams have lots, 12, 13 picks. The Giants only have like 6 or 7. So thank you all for watching. I'll go over these picks one more time here. In the 1st round, I have them taking tight end Kyle Pitts from Florida. In the 2nd round, Jaelan Phillips, the edge rusher from Miami, Florida. In the 3rd round, Josh Myers, the center from Ohio State University. In the 4th round, cornerback Ambry Thomas from Michigan. And the 6th round, Jonathan Adams Jr., the wide receiver from Arkansas State. And with their other 6th round pick, I had them taking Tarron Jackson, the edge rusher from Coastal Carolina. I really appreciate you all watching this video. If you like this video, I could really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, if you like this video and subscribe to the channel, really appreciate it so much. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time on the Sports 2 Hunt Show.